Hi everyone, welcome. The reason why I am just recording this is just because sometimes it's a lot easier to sort of verbalize things than to type it all out. And so anyway, I got a message a while back if I could do a post in regards to females being able to come and some tips and tricks in order to achieve that. After posting a story, I think it was in reply to that. And then I did a poll and asked whether or not this was something that a lot of women were struggling with. And I mean, majority did say that they didn't have any problem with reaching climax and orgasming, but there was still a large minority. So I think it was 36% that said that they did struggle with that, which in the scheme of things, if we're looking at big scale, that's a lot of people. And anyway, even if you don't have any difficulty with this, it might aid in having better orgasms, and yeah, so I think it can help anyone. Oh my goodness. It's a beautiful afternoon here, in the early days of spring. So I guess the first thing to sort of shed light on is what it takes to really reach orgasm. In order to reach that, we need to completely let go of everything. And if you think about how we live our lives and in our society, there's not many times where we're able to do that, or that we even do that. We're always monitoring how we look, how we're being perceived, how we feel. We're always sort of in our heads and worrying and doing 1,000 things at once. So it's very hard for us to sort of get out of that mindset because that's what we're so used to being in. And so my number one tip is that we need to try and remove all of these internal and external factors that could be, I guess, adding anxiety and pressure and making us not, disallowing us to really let go. And this is why I suggest, even for people that are in sexual relationships, I don't mean boyfriend and girlfriend, I just mean maybe they have a partner, a sexual partner or whatever, it could be anything. If you're already struggling with being able to reach orgasm, I suggest sort of practicing by yourself until you get there and then bringing it into the relationship, just because with having that other person there, they are then an external factor. Because whether we like to think it or not, or admit it or not, we do actually sort of care about how we're being perceived, even if we don't realize that on a conscious level. So I would suggest sort of trying these tips and stuff on your own first. So some of the external factors that could be causing stress could be time frame. Something as simple as that. So feeling under pressure of time, oh my god, I have to quickly masturbate, I have to quickly get this done because I have to be here, or I have to quickly do it because my roommates are going to be home at this time. So time, I guess the environment that you're doing it in. So if you can't be loud because there's people next door, or you live at home with your family, that would contribute to it, because you want to sort of build an environment up around yourself where you can be whatever sexual being you need to be without feeling scared about that. So yeah, what else? I guess just having another person there would be an external factor. Yeah. Internal factors could probably be how much you're in your head. So I know a lot of men and guys that struggle with actually being able to come when they are preoccupied thinking about other things. So say like, what once, like, as an example, this dude was like, I was like, what's wrong? Like, this is not like normal for you. And he was like, I'm so sorry, I've just been so stressed out at work lately, and I'm moving, and I'm just like, I'm here, but I'm in my head. And I'm like, okay, that's fair enough, So you really want to get everything settled up here before you're even sort of engaging in that, which is hard, but you'll learn to just sort of compartmentalize that, I guess. Yeah, and also I guess any sort of fears that you have, or biases or opinions, like, you don't actually have to be loud. Like, if you're already thinking these negative things, they're gonna affect you when you're trying to masturbate. And so this is why it's so important to make it a ritual. Like, I legit cannot do it if my room is messy. Like, I will clean the shit out of my room, light some candles, I'll have a bath before, I'll have my bed made and everything, put some incense on. Like, it's an actual ritual, because I'm removing every single one of those factors that I would normally be worrying about. Like, I don't want to be stressing about doing laundry or all of this other stuff when I'm self-pleasuring. So yeah, I suggest making a routine and setting up an environment where you feel most at ease and most comfortable. You know, it's like the environment in itself, that's the thing, because I'm like, doing it in a bath is great for some people, especially for people that squirt, because it removes this anxiety surrounding making a mess. But then for other people, like for myself, it's never that great, because I'm scared I'm going to make a mess with the water splashing around everywhere, and I can't spread my legs how I want to spread them. And so I think it's very much about like trial and error, in regards to setting up the environment, and setting up an environment that makes you most comfortable. Yeah. So that's tip number 1, just removing all of those internal and external sources of anxiety or stress when you're self-pleasuring. Okay, tip number 2 would be, I guess, putting less pressure on yourself. We have in our head what it should look like and how great it should feel, and that it should, be on the incline, there's an identifiable peak, and then there's a downfall sort of stage. And sometimes it's not like that, and sometimes people never get to experience that, and they have different versions of orgasms, and, that's not saying one is more pleasurable than the other. It's not about that at all. It's just a whole different experience. And I think letting go of that pressure, and even just like, if you are thinking that, this should be leading to me orgasming, like, you're putting so much pressure, it actually is adding, again, that anxiety and that pressure and stress. Like, you want to just be enjoying the moment, enjoying the sensations and how, the touch feels, like if you're using your hands or a device, because I am trying to like focus on just self-pleasure and not relating it back to what another person's trying to, yeah. I mean, another benefit of just sort of pleasuring oneself, even in a relationship, is you get to figure out what you're into, what works for you, and what you like. Because I tell you, like, guys think they know what you like, and they will tell you, they know this is what's good, and you're like, maybe that was good for your ex, or maybe that was good for like the girl before me, or what you heard in a movie or saw in a porno, but this is not good for me. Yeah, so I think taking that pressure off what it's supposed to feel like, what the outcome is supposed to be, and you know, I think that can be beneficial in itself. The third tip is, I guess, taking your sweet ass time. I think because of porn, we have this concept and this idea that you touch a certain button down there or whatever, and we're on. We are ready to go. But unfortunately, and I mean, for me, fortunately, it doesn't work like that. I can come way too quickly. Um, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but you know, I would suggest, you know, say you're, I mean, it's the same if you're using your hand or a toy, but lay down or get in whatever position you want to and feel the sensations. Don't go straight to your genitals. You know, you want to rub it along you. So I just have like like it's like a rod or a wand, just like a cylinder sort of thing. Doesn't vibrate or anything. You can just sort of rub it on you, over your nipples and up your legs, and you know, to get me in the mood, I'll even like suck it because that's what makes me feel sexy. And so I suggest doing that before you even get down there. You want to be at your ultimate state of pleasure, and you should be before you even are touching your genitals. You know, you should be feeling sensations all over your body, just to get you at a more relaxed state. And you know, it's not something to be rushed. Again, rushing, it's putting pressure on it, and that comes with that time restraint. So that's the third tip. Is there anything else I wanted to touch on? One other reason why we should be eliminating that other person out of the bedroom and just taking time with ourselves is that we get to be our own sexual being, and we get to live whatever fantasy we want to live without being judged for or ridiculed for it. So like, if you want to yell out dirty and nasty shit, you can do it. Like, I personally, when I'm engaging in sex with someone else, I am, most of the time, depending on who I'm with, still very much in my head. I'm thinking all these really dirty things, but I would never blurt them out because I feel like I would scare the shit out of them. Or sometimes it doesn't even make sense because they're not this thing that I'm thinking about. But I guess doing it by yourself, you can explore those things. And another tip, I guess, as well, is just to not give up. I mean, I think we can all relate to the first time we sort of masturbated. I mean, I know my experience was basically I was standing up in the shower and all I did was put like one finger up me and I was like, okay, and then so I just did this and I was like, oh, that's not great. I'm like, I was expecting this ecstatic thing, and yeah, no. And so it takes some time to really work out what feels good for you and what you enjoy, and just because maybe that might not coincide with what you see online or what you think is normal, I think you need to like shut down those like conceptions of what's normal and what sort of sexual being you want to be compared to what you actually are. So yeah, another thing is just exploring those things, you know, finding out what gets you really going and bringing that to the bedroom. You know, I know so many people that are really into the whole like daddy-daughter scenario, and you know, because of societal norms, that's like oh, that's incest, that's gross, whatever. But if they're into that, then thinking about that is what's making them get to the point where they can orgasm and, you know, maybe even squirt or whatever. And so yeah, I think just, you know, a summary of all those things, removing those external and internal anxieties and stresses, having patience and taking your time. The other one was, put less pressure on yourself and, you know, maybe start redefining what an orgasm is for you. And exploring other options and fantasies and, you know, exploring using toys. I think another thing, as I was saying, like, instead of going straight to that, you know, straight to your genitals and exploring other bits of your body, like, the nicest thing to do is to lay in bed or lay in the bath and literally just run your hands over you and feel your curves in your body, and it really gets you into the sort of like central zone. Yeah, anyway, I hope that helps, and I hope you give it a try and let go and embrace letting go, so you can experience like one of the sweetest things in the world. And I hope it helps other people achieve greater orgasms and whatnot. Yeah, hopefully this can be one of many more little videos and advice things that I can do for you. So if you have any other like suggestions or stuff that you want an opinion on or advice on, let me know and I'll create that for you. I think it's such an important topic to talk about and be open about and explore with other people. So yeah. I don't know what to say at the end of these things. I'm like the most awkward person in the world. But yeah, have a good day, night, morning, whatever, and play with yourself and touch yourself and enjoy it. Even if you don't reach orgasm, just enjoy it.